Daniel's a different fighter, but let's not make no mistakes about this. He's fighting one of
training long time. I have
that there was still unfinished business between the two heavyweights.
Look at two of them, just to correct you there, and I agree with the judges on this. Two of the judges gave him the 4th round.
Whether Dubois's behavior was a genuine show of disrespect or a strategic psychological move, it succeeded in shifting focus to the emotional stakes of the fight. The intense face-off has added a new layer of drama, making the upcoming July 19th showdown even more gripping and unpredictable.
Can't wait for Oleksandr Usyk to teach Daniel Dubois a lesson in the rematch that's taking place Saturday, July 19th at Wembley Stadium. Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois have a face-off to promote their fight. Now take a look at this. Listen. Daniel Dubois pushes Oleksandr Usyk and then goes and calls him a pussy. I find it quite funny when a quitter calls someone else a pussy. Huh? Make it make sense, because Daniel Dubois, yeah, you've come off a few good losses, but we have to remind the peoples your true nature. When shit gets tough, you quit. Look at that fight between you and Joe Joyce, you quit. The fight against Oleksandr Usyk, you quit. And for you to go and disrespect Oleksandr Usyk, one of the greatest boxers of our eras. Yeah, the man is so humble inside the ring and outside the ring. You are going to get taught a lesson. Now, when Oleksandr Usyk beat Tyson Fury, Daniel Dubois jumped into the ring and started begging for a rematch. I honestly believe you disrespected Oleksandr Usyk then, because that was his moment, that was his time to shine, and then you came along and messed everything up. Now, Oleksandr Usyk is going to teach you a lesson for that. Oleksandr Usyk is going to teach you a lesson for pushing him, and Oleksandr Usyk is going to teach you a lesson because you think you are the dog's bollocks right about now. Listen, I always like to support our own. I'm a Brit. I like to support British fighters. But listen, in this instance, in this case, in this up-and-coming fight, I am rooting for Oleksandr Usyk. I hope he teaches you a lesson and he reminds you of your place. Enough of me waffling. I want you guys to let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this fight. Bosh.
Promoter Frank Warren.
Because you have to understand.
Well, to take the fight in the first place.
Yeah, because when I saw him a couple months ago, I had a coffee with him.
He looked great defensively against Joshua. He kept his hands up more, walked him down, and kept landing his right hands. And say what you want about AJ, but nobody has ever steamrolled Joshua like that. Now, Usyk, even at 38, I'm sure he'll still be the slight favorite. You know, having beaten Tyson Fury twice now for undisputed, and he makes great adjustments, and his footwork will still give Dubois a lot of trouble. But either way, massive fight for the heavyweight division. Usyk said he's got 2 fights left, so if he wins this one, maybe he fights someone like a Parker or Caballel in his last fight. And if Dubois wins, he can definitely force a trilogy for undisputed. But you guys let me know who you got in the big rematch.
Among boxing fans and analysts, the majority still favor Oleksandr Usyk heading into the rematch. He's widely seen as the more skilled and technical fighter, with an impressive resume across both the cruiserweight and heavyweight divisions. His footwork, timing, and high-level ring IQ make him a tough opponent for anyone, and many believe these qualities will again be the deciding factor. Usyk's ability to adapt mid-fight and dictate the pace gives him a clear edge in the eyes of most experts. However, momentum is quietly shifting in Daniel Dubois's favor as well.
Belt, and in both fights, he won. So I think that statement, we can squash it. He's got an A plan, a B plan, a C, D, E, the full alphabet. I just believe despite the improvements Daniel's made, it's not enough. And the fact that Usyk's already got data on how to beat him, for Daniel having belief in coming up with a game plan is different to executing it. Ask everyone else, his previous opponents who've tried. Going into the fight, Usyk knows he can hurt Daniel. He's got better footwork, faster hands, and a better defense. He wants to hope that Usyk is aged overnight, lost his memory, and forgotten how to fight. Daniel's best chance is a puncher's chance. And by the way, I'm actually rooting for Daniel. I hope he can pull it off. It would be amazing at Wembley Stadium, especially for the British fans. It's what dreams are made of. I'm a fan of both.
His recent wins over top-tier opponents have turned critics into believers. Observers note significant improvements in his composure, accuracy, and overall conditioning. Even more striking is the change in his mental game. Dubois now carries a focused, quiet confidence that suggests real growth. While Usyk remains the favorite, Dubois is no longer being dismissed, and many believe he's ready to give a far more competitive performance this time around.
More weight on his shots. I think he has the power to hurt Daniel Dubois. I certainly do that. And I think that if he's able to land on Dubois early and really start to build the lead and pepper him, as long as he's not had the wind taken out of his sails, Oleksandr Usyk is going to absolutely take over down the stretch. It might be the first couple of rounds are the most competitive rounds for Dubois and his best chance to strike. Because if you let Usyk get into a rhythm, you are screwed. So don't let Usyk get into a rhythm. If you can try and punch with Oleksandr Usyk, AJ had phenomenal success punching with Oleksandr Usyk in their respective fight. So that's what I think Dubois needs to do. Try and attack the body of Usyk legitimately, double up on the jab and try and punch with Usyk. Usyk, find that left hand, probe with that right hand. Go to Dubois' body as well, because Usyk's a very, very underrated body puncher, throws a great straight left hand to the body.
Tony Bellew, who once faced Oleksandr Usyk in the ring, offers high praise for the Ukrainian champion. He highlights how incredibly difficult Usyk is to beat, largely because he's faced and conquered nearly every style imaginable, from taller opponents to heavy hitters and crafty veterans. Bellew, speaking from experience, recalls just how unpredictable and composed Usyk was during their bout. What sets Usyk apart, according to Bellew, is his remarkable ability to read his opponents and control the tempo of a fight. As the rematch approaches, fans and analysts remain divided. Many acknowledge the strengths both fighters bring to the table. They argue that Dubois has a real shot if he can disrupt Usyk's rhythm early, apply smart pressure, and stay aggressive without losing control. Key tactics include cutting off the ring, targeting the body, and fighting with urgency from the opening bell. Yet, there's also widespread respect for Usyk's precision, footwork, and knack for turning fights in his favor at any moment. It's that fine balance between Dubois' raw power and potential and Usyk's refined skill and ring IQ that makes this matchup so intriguing and unpredictable. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more boxing updates and breakdowns. See you next time. Boxing Glove.